Okay, so this is Microsoft PowerPoint. You can see here that, like Word and Excel that you've used before, there is a menu, and if I click on different parts of the menu, I will get different ribbons. So the ribbons will change. What we can do is, this is what we call a slide, and you'll see there's a button here called New Slide. If I click on that, it gives me a new slide. I can also click on the drop-down menu and choose what sort of format I want my slide to be in. So we call this a different layout, what sort of layout we want it to be in. I can also change the layout once I have a slide by just clicking on the layout, and if I want it to be blank, I can make it blank. If I want it to be like that, I can. You'll see over here, it gives you a designer choice. You can play with that. However, you are required to use themes. So to do a theme, you go to design, and you can see here there's a whole range of themes to choose from. Yours may look slightly different because I'm in the Apple version, but then you choose a theme, and you can see how automatically everything's changed, and then the design ideas change as well. Now I can also insert images. I can insert images all sorts of different ways. You can see here these are actually active, so I can actually insert by clicking on that. And then it will load its online pictures, and I can choose one of their pictures, or I can go to insert and I can do pictures, and I can do a picture from a file that I have chosen and saved off from the internet. So there are different ways to insert a picture, and you can do it whichever way works for you. The other way, of course, is just to Control-C and then Control-V from you. When we're looking at PowerPoint, we actually have something called a slide master. So we go to the View menu. You can see I'm in the View menu, and we've got the slide master. So if I click on the slide master and I go up to the main menu up here, I can choose to change the font. So if I want to change the font, I don't want that font anymore, I want a different font. I click on fonts up here back in the ribbon. All right, change it to Garamond, and you'll see that it changes all the way through. If I close the master slide and go back to my other slides, you'll see that it's also changed here. So you can see that that's also now Garamond up here. So I can do, this will be the title page, and this will be my first content page. And you can see that the masters changes it the same. So again, if I go into View, I go to Slide Master, and let's say that I want to change that, and let's say I pick red. I go to Normal View, and you'll see that that's now red. The other thing is that you're down here, if I move the cursor down here, I can click down here and type notes. So this is where I type what I'm actually going to say, and this is the notes section, and I can actually change the size of that. So you can see there, once you get the mouse in the right spot, you can change how much you can see. So I can see here I've spelt that incorrectly, and then I can keep typing. Okay, the other thing you can do is you can have animations. So for example, if I have point 1, point 2, point 3, I can put an animation on this. So I go to the animations menu, and you can see here I get different animations. So you can do different animations, so we can make things just appear, we can make it fly in, so you can see that it does that. I can search through these, it splits in, and that's an animation. It lets it come in different ways. You can actually do different, you can set it up in different ways of how different animations work. All I did there was the animation pane. I think it's slightly different in your version, but you can make things appear in different ways. So images can appear in different ways and all sorts of things. And you can actually set different paths for the animation and things like that. So there's a whole range of animations that you can do. The other thing you can do is transitions, and this is actually how we move from one slide to the other. So if I come down here and do presentation, so this button down the bottom is a slideshow, and you can see here that it just moves from one to the other. Whereas if I make it, let's make it do a push. All right, and then if I do my presentation now, you can see it does that on that one, and then we'll do the presentation again, does it for that one, and we can do it that way. So the other one you need to do is demonstrate is shapes. So we can go again to insert, and we can pick a whole range of different shapes. We can put a little smiley face in. I can also insert some 3D models, and it will pull up some 3D models. So I can put in a little, we can do that one, and then you can see that it's a puppy, and you can do that sort of thing with it. So you can have a play with all that sort of stuff, and make sure you meet all the requirements of the task that's set.